Anytime I'm feeling that dinner time rut where I don't know what to fix, I can pretty much always count on a chicken casserole to make everybody happy and hit the spot. And needless to say, I have made my fair share of chicken casseroles here on my channel. So in today's video, I thought we would revisit 7 of my top favorite chicken casseroles. Each one of these has unique flavors, and if you're in need of a dinner recipe tonight, you're in the right place. Let's get into these chicken casseroles. Let's just get into this cracked out chicken casserole. All right, so let's start mixing everything up. I brought my chicken over. We're just gonna add it to this large bowl. And by the way, I had a ton of questions in my last video about where I get these mixing bowls with the little handle. And I got the whole set at TJ Maxx, really inexpensive. And you can find them all different colors there all the time. I see them a lot. It's about 2 cups of chopped chicken. The recipe calls for 3, but I think it'll be all right. Next, we're gonna add in 1 16-ounce container of sour. Next, we're gonna add 1 can of cream of chicken soup. We're gonna add 1 packet of ranch mix. We add 1 cup of chopped cooked bacon, and then about 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. All right, we're gonna go ahead and mix this up. The recipe says to add in the tater tots as well at this point, but as you can see, my bowl is pretty full. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up, and then we'll add the tater tots in when I get it into the 9x13. And I considered just putting the tater tots on top because I know that we really like our tater tots crispy, but I'm just gonna follow the recipe this first time and see how it turns out, and I'll let y'all know. I'm thinking it's gonna turn out like a mix between hash brown casserole with chicken in it. Basically like hash brown casserole turned into a meal. And I'm totally cool with that too. All right, so I have my bag of tater tots here. And y'all, this brand of tater tots is superior. Let me just tell you, it is so good. They're so crispy, usually, especially in the air fryer. But that's what we're using tonight. All right, hopefully this is all gonna fit in here. At least I won't have to cook maybe tomorrow, we'll see. All right, so I'm just gonna pour the mixture kind of on top, and then I'll kind of stir it up in here. This will definitely be easier with a big bowl. Use a big bowl, y'all. All right, I think I got it all in there. So this is going into the oven at 350 for about 40 to 45 minutes until everything is nice and bubbly and golden on top. All right, y'all, there we go. I just made some green beans on the side. Looks so good. Cannot wait to try it. So I have about 4 cups of cooked and shredded chicken. I just boiled it over on the stove and then shredded it up with my hand mixer. Super quick, I love doing it that way. But next to the chicken, we're gonna add 1 cup of cottage cheese. And don't worry, I think this is gonna cook down where you really can't tell it's in there. We will see. I'll let you know what everybody thinks. Next, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of sour cream. And I'm just eyeballing all these measurements. Next is 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. And of course, I just softened mine right in the microwave. We're also gonna add 1 can of cream of chicken soup. The recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm just gonna put some in. And also 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. I'm gonna add just a little bit of fresh black pepper. All right, and now we're just gonna get all this combined. Doesn't call for rice or anything like that to be added to the mix. So I think I'll probably just cook some white rice on the side and serve this kind of over top of it. All right, let's go grab our baking dish. And this also does have a buttery Ritz cracker topping, but I'm actually making this ahead of time. This is a great make ahead recipe or even a freezer meal, but if you do that, I recommend just saving the buttery cracker topping for the very end, so that way your topping is all nice and buttery and crisp and crunchy, the way you want it. But I mean, or if you like your topping a little bit soft, go ahead and put it on there. But this is gonna sit in my fridge for a couple hours until I'm ready to bake it at dinner time. I'm just gonna get it all nice and spread out. And like I said, I'm gonna cover it, and I'll see you guys in a few hours, and we'll get that topping on there. All right, it's a few hours later, so now we're gonna make that topping. I have about 4 or 5 tablespoons of butter that I just melted. And then also I have 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers. I'm gonna crush these up and get these into this butter. We're just gonna give that a little stir. And dinner is served. This is what you call, I don't know, I think we already talked about Paula Deen in this video, but I was gonna say this is what you call Paula Deen cereal. Or cook, clean, repeat. Yeah, this is cook, clean, repeat
That's
cereal.
breakfast is what that is.
It's breakfast. Dinner is served. I mean breakfast. I mean midnight snack. All right, so I got my casserole out of the fridge. We're just gonna top it with that Ritz topping. I feel like we might need more. All right, so I have my oven preheated to 350, and this is just going in there for about 30 to 40 minutes, just until it's nice and warm. Nice and hot, rather. All right, y'all, let's give it a try. It smells delicious. And I also have those $1 million chocolate coconut bars in the oven. Stay tuned for that recipe because they also smell so good. This is nice and creamy. I feel like this is a recipe that the whole family is gonna love. I would throw some parsley on there for some color, but I don't have any. But I'm just serving it up, like I said, with some rice. Got some steamed broccoli. I think this looks delicious. Let's give it a try. That's really good. I'm actually really surprised. That's really good. Got a lot of flavor, believe it or not. Crunchy, buttery crust, nice and creamy. Has the tiniest bit ever of sweetness, I guess, from the Ritz crackers. Really good, and like I said, I think your whole family will enjoy this one. This particular recipe and most recipes call for about 2 cups of shredded cooked chicken. I have about 3 cups here. Next, we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. The first one, you're gonna pick up some refrigerated sour cream style French onion dip. You wanna get the kind that's refrigerated in the grocery store. So the recipe calls for a cup. This is actually 12 ounces, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use it all because there's no sense in keeping a tiny little spoonful in the container. Next in is 1 can of cream of chicken soup. Next, we're gonna add about a cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Next to the bowl, the recipe calls for 2 cups of cooked instant white rice. You could totally use a packet of the instant rice. I just cooked up some brown jasmine rice earlier. I'm gonna add that in. That's probably a little bit more than 2 cups, but since I didn't have quite probably enough chicken, I think that'll be okay. And last but not least to the bowl, we're gonna add about a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. And y'all, does that get any easier? We're gonna mix this up. We're gonna top it with some French fried onions, and this will be ready for the oven. All right, so I have my 9 by 13 baking dish here. I know it's kind of hard to see since it's clear. Just gonna give it a quick little spray. All right, so we have everything in our baking dish. Next, we're just gonna top with some French fried onions. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup, but I mean, you know, just go for it. Just do whatever you feel. I think that's a better plan. All right, this is gonna go in the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes until that cheese is nice, hot, and bubbly. All right, next up we have chicken Alfredo, and I have to say this might be the easiest one in this whole video. So I just have my 9 by 13 here, and I'm just gonna dump in a whole box of Rotini. You can use whatever kind of pasta you want. You don't even have to cook it first, just dump it in the pan. Next, I have about 1 to 2 cups of cooked and shredded chicken. I'm gonna dump that in, and then you're just gonna dump in 1 jar of your favorite Alfredo sauce. I'm actually using some homemade Alfredo just because I prefer it. I will have that video with the recipe linked down below if you want to check that out. But either way, dump in your Alfredo sauce and then also some chicken broth. And all you're going to do is give that a quick little mix. And this is going to be covered and baked in the oven. Now I did pull mine out after about 30 minutes and checked a noodle. I went and added a little bit more chicken broth, gave it another stir, and popped it back in the oven. Once your noodles are cooked to al dente, I just sprinkled on some mozzarella cheese, some that I had left over in a little bag, along with some Parmesan cheese, and I stuck it back into the oven just for about 5 minutes until that cheese got all melty. I also topped it with a little bit of fresh parsley just to make it all cute, and then it was time to serve. And y'all, I think I might do my Alfredo like this all the time, especially when we're busy, just because it can kind of keep warm in the oven. Your noodles don't dry out and people can just come and get their supper whenever they're ready. I served ours with these little Texas toast breadsticks, which we absolutely loved. This dinner was delicious. So when I was kind of flipping through to find what recipes I wanted to try first for this little series, y'all, you could not go through a church cookbook without seeing like 10 different chicken casseroles, and most of them included this Pepperidge Farm stuffing mix. So that's what I'm using. I'm adding it to a bowl with a stick of butter melted, and I'm just going to mix that to combine the butter all over that stuffing mix. Then I'm going to get my 9x13 dish out, and you're just going to add about half of this mixture to the bottom. Next, on top of that stuffing mixture, you just add about 2 or 3 cups of chopped cooked chicken. And I actually did use a rotisserie chicken this night, which made this come together that much quicker. And I just love using rotisserie chicken. And I have to say, this particular one, it was like a good rotisserie chicken. Y'all know when y'all go to the store, sometimes them little chickens be just tiny. This one was a good one. I guess all those injected hormones. Anyway, they were delicious. Okay, back to the recipe. I'm adding 1 carton of sour cream and then 1 can of cream and chicken soup. I'm going to get that all mixed up together, and that's going to go right over top of the chicken. I don't know if I said, but I'm sure y'all saw, I just layered the chicken on top of the stuffing, and then that sour cream and cream of chicken soup mixture goes on top of that. And then next you bring back over that other half of the stuffing mix, add that over top of the sour cream and cream of chicken, and then you're going to take about 2 to 3 cups of chicken broth, and you're just going to pour that all over top of the stuffing. All that stuffing mix is going to soak it right up. You don't want it to be dry, so just kind of eyeball it, and this is going into the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes. And again, this is so nostalgic for me because I swear my grandmother used to make this all the time after church. I just served mine over top of some rice with some green beans on the side, and I'm telling y'all, this hit the spot this night. So good. My family said they all love this chicken casserole just as much as the one I normally make with the buttery cornflakes on top. Next up, we have this chicken tot pie, and this is the perfect meal to make at the end of a busy day. All the flavors of traditional chicken pot pie with a tater tot crust. What's not to love? So we're going to start with a skillet, of course. I have a couple tablespoons of butter, and then another little shortcut is I use some of these frozen diced onions. I only needed a little bit, that way I don't have to chop an entire onion. I just poured some of those into my skillet, and they will saute up just like a fresh onion would. At this point, I'm also going to add a couple tablespoons of flour and a little bit of salt and pepper to season it up. And I'm just going to cook that 3 or 4 minutes to cook down that flour and the butter, and this is going to be the perfect flavorful base for that chicken pot pie filling. Next, I'm going to whisk in some milk and also some chicken broth. I'm just going to kind of slowly pour it in and continually whisk all that. It's going to be smooth and it will start to thicken up. All right, next we're gonna add our veggies to our filling. You can add whatever veggies you prefer in your pot pie, or no veggies at all if you don't want any, but these frozen peas and carrots make this so easy, and again, just come together so easily and so quickly. We're also gonna bring back over that rotisserie chicken, and I have left this rotisserie chicken in kind of bigger pieces, and that way it doesn't dry out as quick until you go to use it if you're not using it, for a day or two. But for this recipe, I did go ahead and break it up into more bite-sized pieces. Once we have everything combined, we're just going to bring over a baking dish. And by the way, I actually halved this recipe and it was perfect for our family of 4, and we had a little bit of leftovers. So just saying, this recipe, it does make quite a bit, but we're gonna get that filling in our baking dish, and then we're gonna top with tater tots. And I just like to put mine on in one even layer. If you wanna line your tater tots up and make it all pretty, you can do that as well, but this is going into the oven for about 45 minutes, and then we're just gonna pull it out. And this part is optional, but the recipe I was following topped with a little bit of sharp cheddar cheese, and we love cheese, so I thought we would try it. And it was so good. The tater tots actually got very crispy even with the cheese on top. It only bakes about 5 more minutes after you add the cheese. Once that cheese is completely melted, you want to serve it up nice and hot. This one actually surprised us a little bit. I knew that we would enjoy it, but even the flavor was a lot more than even I anticipated. So this is a perfect weeknight, super easy meal to add to your rotation. Next up, we have this Paula Deen chicken casserole that surprisingly I had never made before. I saw this all over Pinterest, so I knew I wanted to try it. So first, you're just gonna cook up 1 16-ounce box of penne pasta, just according to the box directions. And then over on the side, we're gonna make this cheesy sauce that's gonna go in it. So I have some butter, some minced garlic, some diced onion, and I'm gonna saute that for a few minutes, and then we're gonna add about 2 or 3 tablespoons of flour. And that's just gonna help thicken our sauce a little bit. Next, we're gonna add some milk. We're gonna whisk all that together to make sure all those clumps and everything are nice and smooth. We're also gonna add some sour cream and then just your seasoning of choice. Again, I went with the Kinders. I don't know why, I was just feeling the Kinders today for this video, I guess. And then also we're gonna add about 2 cups of shredded cheese. You can use any kind that you like. I chose to shred up some Colby Jack cheese, and that worked really nicely in this chicken casserole. I've just drained my pasta noodles, and then over here I have a 9x13 baking dish. We're just gonna go ahead and pour the penne noodles in there. And next I'm gonna add about 2 cups of cooked chicken. Now, since we are doing pantry meals, I actually use canned chicken. I think canned chicken works perfectly in recipes like this. And then next I'm just gonna bring over that cheesy sauce, pour that right over our chicken and noodles. Give everything a stir to combine really well, and then you want to top with another 1/2 cup to 1 cup of cheese. And again, you can use any cheese that you like. I actually went with some Pepperidge. I thought that would just be really good on top, add a tiny bit of spice, and it was so perfect. This just bakes in the oven for about 30 minutes on 350. Again, I'll have all these recipes typed out below for you, and this was just the most perfect weeknight pantry meal. Most of these things I always have in my pantry or my fridge. How many times do we have a little bit of cheese, a little bit of this kind, a little bit of that kind? This is the perfect way to just use that up. Whatever kind of pasta you have also would work really well in this recipe. We just served ours up with a little side salad, and you could not get any easier, but it was just perfect, the perfect little dinner. I hope today's video brought you a new dinner idea or some inspiration. Like I said, you really can't ever go wrong with the chicken casserole, but if you're still in need of a dinner idea, I'm gonna have 2 more videos right here on the screen that I think you'll enjoy. Also, if you're new, hit that subscribe button before you go. I would love to have you here, and I'll see you real soon in my next video. Bye, y'all.